This is Hannibal here. This is a match that's never been released before. It is a match that took place after I actually retired from 2011 to 2014 to overcome hepatitis C and get cured of hepatitis C. This was actually my first match back, I think April 2014. After being off 3 years fighting Hep C. And I was wearing a mask. It's at the Robert Guertin Arena in Hull, Quebec with George Laraque, the legendary Montreal Canadian, at ringside. He was the ring announcer for this event. There was over 3,000 fans. I don't even remember the name of the guy I'm wrestling here. And I was wearing a mask because this was one of Jacques Rougeau's events. And for some reason, he didn't want his wrestlers wrestling for other companies. And since I had an upcoming match against AJ Styles, which was only my first match back, after 3 years. Sorry, one of my first matches. I think it was my fourth match back. He wanted me to only wrestle with a mask in his company, which didn't last long. But I appreciate that he gave me some opportunities to work off the ring rust. As you can see, like, we did have a packed house for this event. And the only stars on the shows would, I would say, be Jacques Rougeau. He was the only star on this show. Here is a big body slam to the outside. WWE came to this arena a lot in the 90s when Bret Hart was champion, and they weren't drawing good enough to go to the big arena in Ottawa or go across the river. To this arena, Kevin Nash wrestled Bret Hart in a steel cage match here once. Bruiser Brody's wrestled Abdullah the Butcher. Andre the Giant's wrestled here. So it was a big honor for me to wrestle in this arena. And this was my second time wrestling in this arena. I also wrestled at this in this venue back in 2007. You see George Laraque looking on there. One of the all-time toughest in Montreal Canadiens history. This match was choreographed by Jacques Rougeau, by the way. No point breaking kayfabe. My wrestling career is pretty much over. No point holding up kayfabe. Choreographed this match. If it looks like I'm wrestling differently than other matches that you've seen me. As I said, the best part about this match was the wrestling in the arena, where I'd seen a bunch of WWE matches as a kid and saw guys like Abdullah the Butcher wrestle a bunch of times when I was younger. They used to come to this arena back when Gino Brito was promoting and was involved with the Rougeaus and Vachons. That was a move the Big Boss Man used to do, who wrestled Jacques Rougeau a lot. Which is probably why he had the idea for me. He gave other people this masked gimmick at various times, including his son Cedric, who was one of the biggest missed opportunities in wrestling. His son Cedric could have been a massive star, but he just didn't have the passion to pursue it, and he had people like Kevin Owens preventing him from being signed by WWE, despite being like 6'7", pounds, and carrying the Rougeau name. Now I think he's a used car salesman. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just could have done a lot better in wrestling. Big slam here to this masked character who I wish I could remember his name. I had the same match the next week in Rimouski, Quebec, where they had an even bigger crowd than this. They had like 4,500 in Rimouski. Jacques Rougeau was good at promoting and getting big crowds. He had 11,000 people at his retirement show. I was actually, originally he had asked me to be one of the members of the main events against him in his retirement show. But for whatever reason, that fell through. I never got an answer, but I did tape his retirement show. Put out a video of the match and interviewed him in the dressing room right after. I think the reason I wasn't on it was because I was wrestling for my own company and he didn't want someone that wrestled other places wrestling for his show, even though it was his last show. This guy's coming off the rope with something. For people that say I don't bump for small people, I've given this guy. Hebner actually refereed my match with Abyss in this arena, and I remember Abyss hit me so hard with the chair, I put my hands up, but my hands actually went numb after. That was the hardest. It was one of those heavy steel chairs too, one of the heaviest chair shot I ever took. And later, about 10 years later, I had another match in TNA that Abyss was the agent of. Here I am trying to get George to come in the ring with me. He was the ring announcer for this show. I think I was saying I'm going to finish this little puke off and I want a piece of you. Guy going up with a sack of potatoes. And that is all she wrote. Subscribe and like this video.